What's up, everybody? This is DJ Buster B. It's been about almost a month since I did my last video. Yeah, beginning of November, looking at the calendar now. And I've been lying low, haven't been on Facebook that much, and have not been on YouTube and answering emails. I mean, just had hand surgery. I had a freak accident in my house a couple weeks ago. I actually fell and my hand hit the glass table, and it sliced my artery, tendon, and my nerve in my hand right here. So just had surgery 2 days ago to reattach my tendon from here back up to here. I got 3 incisions all through here. I got to go to therapy. It's bad. I mean, just be thankful that you guys got 2 working hands. Because right now I only have 1 working hand and a few fingers. That's it. I mean, I can barely move my thumb right now. I'm going through therapy for that. And lucky a friend was here to stop the bleeding, put direct pressure on my artery when I first cut myself, and we got to the emergency room and they repaired the artery, stopped all the bleeding. But long story short, I'm on a road to recovery. So getting my hand back and start doing things again with both hands. So I can imagine how Brian as Red feels with basically 1 working hand. It's hard. So anyway, the purpose of this video is that I've been getting a lot of emails and questions on this particular device right here, the Power Distro box that I purchased a little while back, where it allows you to plug your gear up to your own, pretty much, as long as the room has a 30 or 50 amp circuit for plug-in power. You can plug up to this distro box and you can have 2 separate 20 amp circuits with 4 outlets for your own gear and be off of the other power that's in the room as far as outlets. But a lot of the emails and questions I'm getting is from guys saying about, powered speakers, they pull less power, so I shouldn't have to worry about this kind of box. It's true, Class D amps do pull less power than your analog amplifiers, but it's still wattage. It doesn't matter if it's Class D, Class A, or whatever you're running. Wattage adds up on an electrical circuit. It adds to the load on the circuit. It's basic Ohm's law when it comes down to electricity. So I did like a little chart here to help you guys out. What I did was I pulled up all the specs on the most popular stuff that I see you guys running, which is like the K12s from QSC and the 18-inch power subwoofer, which is the 181. And I put 2 Chauvet Q Spot 260s, the 260 watt LED moving heads, and also added basically some guys are running drive rack, pretty much like the power that pulls. If you wanted 2 like color strips, like a laptop, and just some basic things that you might have just in your DJ booth. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff what it actually looks like, as far as the math and how this stuff adds up. The main question is, do you really need one or do you not need one? It can go either way, back and forth, but my answer is, I say yes. It's almost like you have a dolly that folds down to a cart. You can use the cart to load all your gear, or you can use a dolly to do smaller loads. I mean, what do you prefer? Sometimes the cart comes in handy. Sometimes it might be better just to use the dolly for something smaller. So this box is the same thing. I look at it as a piece of gear I should have bought a long time ago, because 3 venues this year have already offered 30 or 50 amp circuits, and we did not have a box like this, and we had to plug to the regular 15 or 20 amp circuits along the walls that were shared with other circuits. Well, not other circuits, but those circuits were shared along the room with anybody else, like as far as the caterers, when they had these heat lamps to keep meat things warm for like when the guests come up to get certain meats cut. They had these heat lamps, and I know those things pull between 800 to 1,000 watts because there has to be a lot of heat to keep it warm. And plus another venue had all these incandescent lamps. It's almost like Christmas lights all around the walls that was tied to the same circuit. So we had to plug into all that stuff. It adds all up with wattage and everything. I'm going to show you the wattage of this gear, the basic gear you might have just in your booth, not including uplights around the room. This is just in your booth section. How much stuff that could pull as far as wattage, and if you're sharing that wattage on that circuit with that load with other people in the room or anything, you risk tripping a breaker. I mean, for instance, you got a 10 amp circuit. Try to write this stuff down so you can see it. 10 amp circuits, or you got 15 amp circuits, or 20 amp circuits. Your 10 amp circuit will give you roughly 1,200 watts of electricity. And you figure that out as basic Ohm's law right here. You take, to get wattage is voltage times amps. So if the circuit's putting out 10 amps times 120 volts equals 1,200 watts. A 15 amp circuit will give you roughly 1,800 watts of use. So you could plug up to 1,800 watts before that breaker will try to trip out. If you go over that, it will trip. 20 amp, the same thing. It's 2,400 watts. So that's basically what these circuits are. You got some rooms that have 15 amps along the wall. You're like, cool, I got a 120 volt outlet right here I can plug right to. And you start tacking on the other gear, and if it's in one circuit, like a lot of these venues are, sometimes they offer multiple circuits like that. You might be good, but if it's one circuit, some of these older buildings, you're tacking that stuff on. It's almost like you're in one bedroom in your house, and you're plugging in all your gear to one outlet in that one bedroom, because most bedrooms have one separate circuit. So you can plug everything to that one circuit, start bumping it up, your lights and all that stuff, and what do you notice? Sometimes your lights in the ceiling, like if you plug a desk lamp in a room, might start blinking with the bass, because you pretty much ready to max out that breaker right there, where that breaker is almost ready to, I can't handle it, I'm ready to trip out on you. So if it trips, you lose power. So a lot of stuff, that's how I figured out. I got the chart up here, I'm going to show you guys. I'm even going to show you online where I pull up the specs on a lot of this gear, and it shows you how much it pulls. It could be Class D, small power consumption, but still, wattage adds up. So I'm about to show you right now. We got the famous KW181 by QSC. Just look at the specs right here. 181, AC power input, AC power consumption at 1/8 power. This thing is, you plug into 120 volt circuit, it pulls roughly 2.01 amps at 1/8 power. That's for one. So if you figure here, one 18-inch subwoofer, that will give you, it's about 241 watts when you do the math. And that actually is 120 times 2.01 gives you about 241. So you're running two 18s, that's 241 plus 241. Now, here's your famous K12. K12 right here. Here we go. There's power consumption. All right, here we go. AC power consumption at 1/8 power. 120 volts AC, it's the exact same as 18, 2.01 amps. So do your math. You're running two 18s and you're running two 12s as your tops. That's 241, 241, 241, 241. That's your wattage right there for those four speakers. Now, if you're running two 60 watt moving heads like your famous Chavez Q-Spot 260 LEDs, come right on down here, and here's your power consumption at 120 volts. This thing pulls, each light pulls 150 watts. Now that's probably what your LED at its full brightness is, 150 watts. So two of those is 300 watts already. So 60 watt LED moving head, 150, 150. And let's just say some of you guys are running the drive rack for the audio processing. Let's say that pulls 60 watts. It might be a little bit less, it might be right around there. You got two, let's say color strip wash bars, to get some color wash on the dance floor. That's about probably 70 watts a piece. Or it could be more depending on if it's a bigger light. And let's just say your laptop is pulling 90 watts. If you look at your laptop power supply, it might say 100, some say 90 for your newer laptops. Now total, you add up all of this. Two 18s, your two 12s, your two moving heads, your drive rack, your two color wash lights, and your laptop. That you pull in 1,554 watts right there. That's just with those items. Try to pull up this tape right now. That's on a 10 amp circuit. 10 amp circuit max out about 1,200 watts. So you're already over capacity for a 10 amp circuit with that right here. That's not including if you guys are trying to plug in anything else like more lighting, some uplights around your booth, some lasers, some fog or haze machines or anything like that, because then you're pretty much gonna max it all out. So you ought to be definitely plugged to a 20 amp circuit then if you want to pull all that. Let's just give you a little something to think about as far as power distros. If the building offers it, yeah, I'm going to plug into it, but not all venues have it. But if they do, I'm going to plug into it. If not, I got to make sure I check around with building maintenance to find out if we're on the same circuits and all that. Because just from working at the television station, we do two major production events a year. The Christmas parade, where you got like everybody's out there watching Christmas parade. Live remote broadcast. We have a 10-kilometer race, which you got over 30,000 runners with full GPS transponders, everything on it. We're running multiple cameras, multiple transmitters, and this is all on air live. So we get our power wrong with these generators and we lose a shot. Sponsors are looking at you as far as what happened. I paid big money here to have my sponsorship on air for like a couple hours, and you can't even stay on air because you didn't do your math right with your electricity. So that's why I'm always double checking electricity, doing your math, because same thing with a gig. You get there, something happens, you look bad when you lose power. That's why I want to be prepared with a power distro. You don't have to get one. I mean, I see it as like insurance kind of deal. It's a good thing to have, because why share a circuit If you're in a room with, you pull in, this some gear right here that I listed, 1,554 watts. The potential to pull that if you crank, that's not even cranking hard on your speakers right there. You pulling that, you got a caterer or somebody else in the room, a heat lamp that pulls about, let's say 1,000 watts. You add that 1,000 on here, you had over 2,000 watts already, pulling from a circuit. And you're sharing that with them. I mean, suppose they plug something else in, boom, everything shuts off because you're on that same load on that circuit with them. That's why I think if the venue offers it now, I'm plugging to the 30 or 50 amp circuits separate. I mean, you see it on big production events, clean power without using one. But we did have an event, this was 2 years ago at the, it's a gig log on my channel. Plant Zero, we did a wedding, Lady Fingers and myself. And during the reception, you know, everybody's dancing and we plugged to the outlets on the wall, everything's good. And we checked it out doing our site survey. Power goes out 3 times on us. This actually was not our fault because even when everything went out, the guy that works in the building was yelling out, "It's not the DJ's fault, our dishwasher kicked in and tripped out the power." So he's telling them, all the guests, that he's the one that caused the power to go out. So we did a gig this past September there, and they resolved the power issues, but that's something to make you think. I mean, we're on the same circuit. We plugged a separate room, but that room was on the same circuit as the big dishwasher to wash all the fancy dishes and everything. I mean, these buildings are wired crazy. That's why I think it's worth having an option to plug in, or not if they don't have it. Even if, like the kitchen circuit. I mean, we even could run a long cable and plug into the dryer outlet, the stove outlet. If it's all electric, you can plug to the distro box. And also another thing with Ohm's law, you guys got your basic AC sine wave right here. A rule with Ohm's law always is when voltage goes down, current goes up. That's a rule with Ohm's law. So you're pumping your music in some of these rooms. You might, I'm holding it 120, but sometimes when bass is hitting and other things are plugged onto that same circuit, it's not really 120 anymore. The voltage might sag down to 118, 110, sometimes 109. When that voltage sags down, the current pushes much harder, which goes up in the circuit. When that current goes up, usually you start tripping breakers or ground fault interrupts. Any of these things, these safety circuits will start tripping. Or some of your devices will have glass fuses. Fuses will pop because when the current pushes harder to get that power through there, it'll pop the fuse because the current is working harder. Heats up, pops the breaker. Now some of these circuits, your piece of gear might not have fuses. And in that case, you start ruining components on that circuit board. Capacitors, voltage regulators, all kinds of stuff starts to fail and overwork hard. Shortens the life of your gear. So I've been working on electronics for years, since the early 90s, since high school, and I've learned a whole lot as far as voltage goes down, current goes up. Don't believe me? Look it up online. It's all out there as far as Ohm's law, how things operate with electrons and how they flow through a circuit. So I just want to look out for you guys and just give you a little bit of information on this distro box, because you don't see a lot of information out there as far as YouTube on what to look for and how things work. So I'm just trying to look out for you guys. I mean, you spend a lot of money on your gear, and you just want to protect it. I mean, a lot of you guys probably have some kind of power conditioner. You know, why plug into a dirty circuit? You know, it has some faulty or some kind of voltage problem where stuff gets sagged down and dropped down, or risk plugging into other circuits with everybody else. You got some good gear out there. Plug in some clean power if they offer it. So that's all I'm saying. Just a little tip from me as far as hopefully answer some of these questions, all the emails I'm getting as far as, do you need one? Technically, well, I got powered speaker. It doesn't matter what you have. It's all electricity. It all pulls wattage. It all adds a load to electrical circuit. So that's my little tip, you guys. So as always, I'm not gonna say practice and enjoy. I just gotta get better. I'm ready to start DJing and doing other things again, using both hands and driving and everything. Can't drive my stick, so I'm driving automatic right now. So, peace.